Welcome to The Truth About Cooking. I'm Virginia, and today we're gonna make some Japanese sweet potato gnocchi with some blistered shishito peppers and some incredible mushrooms that we're gonna have with our sauce and some brown butter. It's going to be absolutely amazing. It is super easy to make. I know everything that I just said sounds really intimidating, but it's really super simple ways to cook using fresh ingredients. There's not even that many ingredients in this dish. I promise it's gonna be simple and absolutely delicious. Now, the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to start our sweet potato gnocchi. So I already roasted 3 medium-sized Japanese sweet potatoes just until they were tender all the way through in the oven. You don't have to season these or rub them with oil. It's really not necessary. Just dry roast them in the oven whole. You don't even have to pierce the skin really, because by keeping that skin closed, it's gonna keep that moisture in there. What I'm going to do is, I've already taken a knife and just cut down the middle after they're roasted, and you just pull the skins off. Just that easy, okay? Now we need 2 cups of roasted sweet potato for this dish, which is about what I'm gonna get out of what I have here. A note to add here, make sure that your sweet potatoes have cooled down, because we are about to add an egg in here and you don't want hot sweet potatoes. Your egg's gonna cook and that's not gonna make the gnocchi that we wanna eat. In our bowl, we have 1 1/4 cups of flour, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 2 cups of cooled mashed roasted sweet potatoes. These are Japanese sweet potatoes, but you can use, the regular ones in orange. 1 egg. All of our flour incorporated in there. Now, it is still a little bit sticky. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna take a little bit more flour and we're going to heavily dust the space that you're working on, either the big cutting board or just straight onto the counter. Okay, take a little bit more flour, dust it over the top just so your hands don't stick, and going to just kind of use our fingers and portion this into 4 blocks. Just like that. We're just rough portioning them into blocks. And you're just gonna lightly press on those rough logs that you have and roll it out into about 1 inch thick rope. And this portion actually works out just perfect. It's just the length of my cutting board. Kind of smush it together. Get it a little bit uniform all the way down. Again, these are gonna be rustic, and that's the appeal of these, so don't worry too much about it being perfect. Just roughly all the same size, so when we're cooking them, they're cooking at the same time. And just go down and cut even little pillows. Okay? And kind of push those apart. Roll them around in your flour a little bit more, and we're gonna throw them on this baking tray. And we're not baking these, okay? I'm just throwing them on a baking tray to use as a giant plate. Like, if you wanna make this for dinner tonight, when you get home from work, like when you walk in the door from work, just walk over to your oven, set it to 375, throw the sweet potatoes in there. It doesn't have to be preheated yet, okay? It's fine to start them from cold and warm them up with the oven. So, like I said, you get home from work, just walk in the kitchen real quick, turn on the oven, throw the sweet potatoes in there. In an hour, they're gonna be done cooking. Well, you're probably gonna want an hour to get changed or get a workout in, or, you know, throw a little laundry in, or just sit and stare at the wall for an hour before you're mentally ready to go even think about dinner. And again, sweet potatoes will be done. Set these in the fridge while I'm getting my water boiling and stuff. I like them just get a little chill on them and rest a little bit before I start cooking. So our next step is going to be browning some butter. So over here in the saute pan, I have a half a cup of good quality butter, and we're just going to cook that down on medium-low heat until all of the milk solids come out and they get nice and brown and they flavor the butter. But remember, when this is done, don't get rid of those little brown bits. That's where all the flavor is. Once your brown butter is done, you're going to remove all of that from the pan. Make sure to scrape out all of those little brown bits. And then you're gonna put about 2 tablespoons of your brown butter back in your pan. You don't need to wash it. Like I said, scrape out those little brown bits, but don't wash the pan. Leave any residue that's in there because we're putting it right back in. So about 2 tablespoons of that into your saute pan. Reserve the rest for cooking your gnocchi in a little bit. And then you're gonna take, I have 2 types of mushrooms. You can use whatever mushrooms you wanna use. You can use portobello, you can use shiitake, oyster. If you've got some lion's mane or some hedgehog or some lobster mushrooms, or even if you happen to forage somewhere else, whatever mushrooms you want to put in here, throw them in here. So I have some cute little beach mushrooms, which my favorite thing about these is you don't have to prep them. You literally just cut the end off of them and they all fall apart and you cook them whole and they're adorable. I also have some really cool chestnut mushrooms. These are gonna have more of a shiitake sort of texture and flavor, but they definitely have their own flavor apart from shiitake. So if you can get your hands on these, I definitely recommend using them. Pick them up if you see them at a farmer's market. There are a lot of mushroom growers that really appreciate these mushrooms. So they are available in most areas if you're looking for them and if it's farmer's market season. And also, your mushroom growers at your farmer's market, they're growing mushrooms all year long, even if the farmer's market is only like May to October. But get their contact when they're there so you can go to them, figure out a way to get mushrooms from them year round, because mushrooms grow year round. So these particular chestnut mushrooms I got at my local farmer's market. This is the adorable box that it comes in. These mushrooms are from Aquality Farms. They are in Anniston, Alabama. Absolutely delicious, really great. If you are in the Huntsville, Alabama area, definitely check out Aquality Farms mushrooms. Fantastic, and the lady at the farmer's market was so great to talk to. She knew, she was actually impressed that I knew what chestnuts were. So more of you need to get out there and start buying up these mushrooms from them. We are now going to take our brown butter. We're going to come back over here and we are going to put about 2 tablespoons, 2 to 3 tablespoons of our brown butter back in our pan. This we're gonna set aside for our gnocchi in a little bit. We're gonna fry our gnocchi after we boil them. And now we're going to take our mushrooms and come over here to our nice hot brown butter, and we're gonna saute the heck out of these things. And I am totally okay with some of these beach mushrooms here, or any small clumping mushrooms. You can use gnocchi mushrooms too. Those are fun. Just be aware that those do cook a little bit faster than anything chunky. So you either might want to cook them in a separate pan or potentially just cook them in batches. Do your heartier mushrooms first and then move on to your gnocchis and do them last. This is about as crowded as you can get it if you want to do these mushrooms properly. If I had any more mushrooms than this, I would be doing it in 2 batches. While those cook, I'm gonna run outside and get the Rectech heating up because we are gonna use the flat top grill to blister and char these shishito peppers that we're gonna serve with our gnocchi and mushrooms. Yep, medium-high heat is gonna be perfect to get a real nice blister and char. Take your shishitos and just toss them on there. Make sure they're not on top of each other. Now those things are nice and blistered and puffed up and charred. Oh, they're gonna be so good. All of our crispy mushrooms on this plate. We're gonna hold on to those after we fry our gnocchi. We're going to add these back in and incorporate them into our sauce. All right, we have our chilled and rested gnocchi. Next up, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our brown butter and we're gonna go and put about half of this back into our saute pan that we use to both make our brown butter and to saute our mushrooms. So half of your brown, so that's a little under 1/4 of a cup. Okay, now while we heat our pan back up, we are going to drop all of our gnocchi into boiling water and cook them just until they float to the top. That's why just standing over it with the strainer, as soon as you see one bob a few times, you can pull that guy out and then throw them straight into your saute pan with your hot brown butter. And heat your saute pan at like medium heat, medium high if you're brave, but I would say no lower than medium heat, otherwise you're gonna have sticking. You want to make sure that your fat is hot when you throw it in. And yes, it is going to splatter and spit at you, but that is the key to having nice crispy gnocchi. So just kind of be careful, but it's gonna be okay. You'll be fine. Peppers are ready. Got our serving bowls here. Give yourself 2 scoops of gnocchi. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna take, I'm gonna say 3 of your blistered shishitos. We are going to garnish this with some salsa macha. What it is sesame seeds and pumpkin seeds and sunflower seeds with a little bit of chili, a little bit of garlic, and olive oil. That's it. And you just kind of mix it all together and let it sit there and marinate, and it gives such a great texture and flavor, and it's just a really, really cool sauce to put on this dish. You've got these nice soft pillowy sweet potato gnocchi, and then you've got a little bit of crunch of the nuts and the sesame in there with your bright charred shishito peppers. Everything is perfect about this dish. It really wasn't that hard. It just took a little bit of technique and a little bit of doing some stuff in between bacon sweet potatoes, and now you have an incredible 5-star dish for dinner tonight. Enjoy, try it out yourself, let me know how it goes for you. Please reach out with any questions, and I hope to see you back soon. I'm Chef Virginia, and this is The Truth About Cooking.